Hello, my fantastic MFA 509Q1011. Actually sounds like a binary number. No, you are humans. We're doing storytelling, and we are in Module 4. Hope everyone is doing well. So, this week, this module, we focus on genre. Yay, genre. Well, let's go ahead and walk through what we're doing this week and kind of give you some insight. So, let's go ahead and click on this little knob here. And then you have your learning objectives, which again, you will read on your own. We are looking at genre. Also, so not only are we doing genre for this module, we also are going to be doing your pitch, which is going to be for your final project. So again, and we will talk about that more later in this video. Okay, so we have really two deliverables, and then I have posted a optional video. Just watch it, it's not very long, about genre. And then I posted a discussion in the general discussion board where you won't see it quite yet if I click here because I haven't posted it yet. Anyway, but actually, yes, you can. Let's go take a look at it. Let's go to discussions. So, it's optional, but it's just a good idea. So if you go to general questions, and you go down here, module 4 optional lessons. So some students see optional, like, nope, not doing it. Okay, but I try to make these actually something that are relatable and interesting to you. So for this one, it's very simple. There'll be a video posted in the announcements about genre. Again, it's not very long. And it says, after reviewing the materials found in Module 4, including the video posted by Professor Morgan, discuss the following questions. Which genre do you prefer to read and why? And which genre do you prefer to write and why? They may be the same, they may be different. Okay, this is really more of a reflective, introspective kind of a question, but I think it'd be fun to share with other classmates and find out who's kind of doing the same genre that you are, and so we can start networking. Yes, that's what we're doing here. Yes, we are a community. Okay, let's go back to the learning module. And let's go back to learning module number 4. Okay, so let's get to the next thing. So we just let's look at the module overview. Okay, again, I'm going to let you read this on your own. Talks again about genre, and remember there is your pitch, which is coming up, which is going to be a brief overview of your story. Okay, so there is that. Okay, so let's go ahead and you will read that through that on your own. Again, these videos are much more of a how-to. As we did last week, you get to read some chapters. Woohoo! Chapters 1, 8, 10, 11, 13, 14. Good night in the morning. Yes, but it is helpful. Okay, so again, if you click on the ebook, and if we want to read chapter 1, we got to log in. Okay, and it's redirecting because why not? Just walking you through this. And we want to scroll down here to the table of contents, and we want to go to part 1. Okay, and then there you go. Okay, so there are the different things that you get to read. Exciting stuff. Yes, so let's go back to this. So there's that. There's a fun video about genre here, and then you have the library guide, okay, which provides resources to the MFA program and will help with the milestone assignments that we're doing, which again, it would be the pitch. And then, of course, since you have to create a pitch, it'd be a good idea to get some ideas on how to do that. So there is a short little article here that you would read that helps you with pitch. So some chapters to read, a video to watch, a guide to use, and then something about a pitch. So those are your reading and resources for this module. Moving on. Before we get started, read the stuff I just told you. Yeah, we talked about that. All right, here we go. Okay. And so one of the deliverables this week is, I'm going to keep seeing week. You know what I mean? You know, week is a module. Yeah, okay. So there is a journal assignment, okay? And again, if you click here, it downloads the directions, which are already done. That's the wrong one. We'll look at that in a second. Okay, so here's the journal deliverable for this week. So again, it's not very long. Again, at least it says at least 2 paragraphs in length, so let's just get that out of the way. So for this journal assignment, you're going to give an overview of what you learned about your chosen genre that you have done through exploration. So there's some different things. So if you're into mystery writing or romance or science fiction, fantasy, whatever, there are all sorts of websites out there for writers of that type of genre. And so the idea is to do a little more digging and just kind of look through it, okay? And want to discuss what you've discovered about the genre and its characteristics, new titles, major authors, current conversations, topics of interest, and such, okay? So really what we're looking for is for you just basically to kind of start to get your foot in the door, or kind of reach out there a little bit and kind of get a sense of the larger community of which of authors who are working in your chosen genre. And it gives you help, so again, it's a little scary at first because you're walking into a crowded room full of people who are already kind of doing what you want to do. You're that new person at the party, as it were. But that's just part of, the process. And I have found authors that generally, they're very helpful and willing to help new authors, okay, in general, okay. So, again, you're going to look through one of these websites or find one of your own, and then you're going to answer the following questions. What did you learn from the site? Who makes up the community of the writers? How does this genre influence and relate to storytelling itself? This one's probably the trickier question because, again, if you're looking at science fiction, that may have a different impact on storytelling than if you're going to do a straight romance or maybe a western or mystery or something like that. So again, this is more of the, based on what you read, kind of your insight on the genre and how it relates to storytelling, and what are the key characteristics of the genre. Okay? And then, reflect on how you're going to use them in your work. So again, basically, when I get your assignment, I'm going to look, okay, do you clearly explain, is it evident that you've discussed, what you've learned from the websites, and have you explained who the community writers are, genre. Now, some students in previous assignments will just say, writers include blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, there's more, and the current issue of the genre. So it's not just enough to just give me a list, kind of write it out. Give me, a little bit of context here. Explain the genre, and that refers to storytelling itself, and the key characteristics. Now notice, again, this is the school rule. Word document, double spacing, Times New Roman font, 1-inch margins. This is all MLA. Okay. All references should be cited in proper MLA formatting. I know I'm harping on that, but you will, if you do not do proper MLA formatting with the citations of what you're talking about, okay, then you will get knocked down on, where does it say right there? 2 citations. Whoop. Okay, so that's where you can get knocked down. We don't want to get you knocked down. I want everyone to do it right. So just make sure you review the information I have already posted on MLA formatting. Okay, so that's a journal. Again, some of you got to step out of your comfort zone a little bit and kind of dig into more of the bigger world of writers that are actually out there, kind of more of a real thing. All right, so let's go back to that. So there is that journal assignment right there. So that's one of the deliverables this week. In addition to that, we are going to be doing, okay, and it says the rough pitch. Now I'm a little bit, okay, so like when I tell my students, okay, you're going to write a rough draft, I've changed, I've repented, as it were, or reformed. I call it the first draft as opposed to a rough, because we want this to be as polished as we can make it at first, with the understanding we can always make it better. Okay, that's just me being me. Okay, so the first pitch, and so again, there is a guidelines and rubric for this one. Now, for those of you who have just been hiding behind your keyboard, yeah, not so much with this assignment right here, because you get to create a video. Woohoo! Right there. Your premise pitch video should be approximately 1 to 3 minutes in length. So I'm going to give you some advice and some encouragement to do this. Okay. So for this final project of this course includes a premise pitch. Okay. This pitch will be used for your final project, and this submission will give you the opportunity to receive meaningful feedback from your instructor before their final revised submission in Module 9. So again, we're just doing the first draft of this. This assignment will include a description of your protagonist, a clearly outlined conflict, and a description of some of the major choices that will be made by the protagonist. Okay, so there's 3 major things that we're looking for in this video. Are you going to describe the protagonist? Are you explaining the main conflict or conflicts? Okay, and what are the main choices or events that will occur in your story? Now, this may seem a little intimidating at first. Like, again, anything new can be intimidating, so we're just going to just take a deep breath. Woo! Okay, and then here's how we're going to do this. Again, you don't have to do it in any particular order where you say, okay, the protagonist is blah, 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 the main conflicts are blah, 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 and the major choices are blah, 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 blah. Okay, that is very basic, for your first draft, if you're going to do that, okay. But we want to have this be, this pitch at the end, be something that, again, the reason you're doing it as a video is often when you meet with potential publishers or agents, you do so at conferences, and they're going to say, okay, well, tell me a little bit about your book. Now, you have a chance to sell or to tell about your work. And what's effective is if you can do so in a very clear, concise, natural way. Clear, concise, natural way. Now, what does that not look like? What that does not look like is you pulling out a 3x5 card from your back pocket and reading your pitch. Okay? So having said that, it will not be super effective if you read your video pitch. Okay, so if you're going to create this video and you are reading it from something, it won't be as effective as if you are like just telling me. Imagine you're just talking to me as your professor, or just me as a guy, just saying, hey, look, this is what my story is about. Now, to do this, as it said here, I don't know if it shows you this or not. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you if it doesn't say this. It's okay to practice, okay? Practice, practice, practice. Practice before you record this. Say this in front of a mirror a few times until you feel really comfortable doing it. It's simple as that, okay? That's just something that we get to do. And I know a lot of writers tend to be more introverted, and so this may be, again, a little bit out of your comfort zone. But we're just going to practice it. It's just you talking to me, and you tell me about your story, and you're just making sure you indicate these things. And again, what I'm looking for is something that's going to hit all these points in a very natural, concise way. So write it out ahead of time, practice it, think what's going to work, and then once you've kind of written it out and figured out what your pitch is going to be, then practice just saying it, talking before you record the video. That's what I'm going to be looking for. And that's really, again, designed to help you in the real world, because we want you to be all successful. I want you to be successful, and this is the one way that you're going to do it. Whether you like it or not, whether it's fair or not, okay, writers do have to kind of put themselves out there somewhat in order to really get in the world, okay? Just saying. So there is that particular thing. If you have concerns, if you're anxious about this, reach out to me. I'll encourage you. But again, if I were you to do this assignment, I would write all this out, in a short, concise way based on what you're thinking about writing for your final projects. Practice it. Get to the point where you can do it without looking at your card or what you've written. And then when you're ready, record it. And just keep recording it until you feel like you've got it. Okay? That's what I suggest for that. I know I spent a lot of time on this particular thing, but it's important. It's an important skill to have when you are going into the writing world. So that's it for Module 4. So again, we just have those two deliverables, that journal page, and then the rough pitch. And then again, there is the optional discussion where you can talk about, your genre, what you like to read, and what you like to write, and stuff like that, just so we can get to know each other a little better. That's it for Module 4. And keep up the excellent work, everyone. I look forward to reading what you have to say and hearing what you have to pitch when we get to that. All right, here we go.